everyone, it's Miss Prissy back to tell you about number lines and absolute value. Now, if you remember, we talked about types of numbers in the last lesson. Today we're going to talk about how those numbers fit on a number line and what the absolute value of some of those types of numbers will be. We're also going to talk about rational numbers and how to find a number between two rational numbers. Okay, so here we go. First, let's start talking about absolute value. Absolute value of a number is the distance of its graph from the origin. So remember, absolute value is a distance. Okay? This means how far we are from 0. So if I tell you the absolute value, which has two vertical lines, if I tell you the absolute value of the absolute value of -3, you're going to tell me that that's +3 because we are still 3 units away from 0. If I tell you the absolute value of 4, you're going to tell me that's still +4 because distance is always positive. Remember that absolute value is a distance. Yes, that was my phone. You'll hear it quite often. Okay, so remember, absolute value is a distance. Now, let's try to get this in our head a little bit better. Okay, how many of y'all remember the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Okay, most of y'all were probably, most of y'all were born way after this movie was made. Your parents will probably remember this movie. In the movie, Ferris, who is Matthew Broderick, him and his friend, I don't know these guys' names, they borrow their dad's car. And they think, well, Dad's not going to notice if we drive around town in the car because we'll just put it up on blocks in the garage and put it in reverse, thinking that the odometer will go in reverse. If I go in reverse, I'll take miles off. Well, what happens? It doesn't matter if you go in reverse or if you go forward. You're still traveling a distance. You're still traveling so many miles, whether you go forward or back. That's why it's always positive. And when he finds out what happens, boom, he kicks the car and off it goes off its block and out the window. So this is why absolute value is always positive, because it is a distance and the odometer is going to go forward whether you're in reverse or whether you're driving forward. So that's something to keep in mind because it's the distance from 0 and you're still traveling a distance. Okay, so we're going to evaluate these expressions. So the absolute value of 6, how far is the 6 from 0? Well, that's still 6 units. Here it says the absolute value of n. Well, and n is -4.8. So how many units is -4.8 from 0? Which is about here somewhere. It's 4.8 units away. So this is still positive because it is a distance. Now, oh, look at C. It's asking us to do something inside. Well, we do whatever's inside first. So we have -4 plus 9, and I know y'all are going to say, oh, well, that's 5. But we still have the absolute value of it because we haven't taken it yet. The bars are not going to come off until we actually ask ourselves, what is the absolute value of 5? And we say 5. And D, oh my gosh, D is my favorite game in the whole wide world. I bet by the time you finish this, you're going to know what my favorite game is. My favorite game in the whole wide world is plug and chug. We're going to take the X out, plug in a 1, we're going to turn the crank and chug it on out. Well, that means we do whatever's inside the little brackets first. Oh, sorry about that. We do whatever's inside the little brackets first. So 1 minus 10, that's negative 9. But it's still absolute value because we haven't asked ourselves the question. Now we ask ourselves the question, what is the absolute value of negative 9? And you say, oh, well that's positive 9. So now we can answer 2 minus 9, and that's negative 7. And I know y'all are going, but wait, Miss Prissy, wait. You said absolute value is never negative. That is correct. This part wasn't negative. That came out a positive 9. But here it says we're going to take 2 and minus whatever we get. So we're going to take 2 and minus that positive 9. So there's where you have to be careful. So now let's talk about a distance on the number line. It says find the distance between each pair of numbers on the number line. Well, that means we are going to have to draw a number line. Now, I'm a little bit lazy, and I know that oops, wrong one. I know that 4 is here and 18 is here, because 18 is bigger and the bigger numbers go on. So we need to find out how many are in between. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, look, 18. So we have to find out this distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So what's the distance? The distance is 14. Now, what about this distance? I'm going to start with negative 8 here and 25 here. You know that 0 is going to be somewhere in the middle. So we know that from here to here is 25. We know that from here to here is 8. So if we add those two distances together, 25 plus 8 is going to be what? 25. I'm going to give you a little thinking time. Do, 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 do. And I'm hoping you're saying 33. Woo hoo hoo. Yay. Okay. So now we're looking for a rational number 1/4 of the way between these two. Uh-oh. What are they asking for? Okay. So here's this one. 2.85. And here's 3.02. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have to find out is what is the distance between these two. So we're going to go 3.02 minus 2.85. Look at that, I'm not even using a calculator. That's a 7. That's a 1. Okay, so it's 0.17, whatever the units are. Now, we need to go 1/4 of the way. 1/4 of the way through. So I need to take 1/4 of 0.17. And hopefully y'all have a handy dandy trusty nifty calculator that will do it for you. And I get 0.0425. Now, they want you to find the number that is 1/4 of the way. So here's what you have to do. Are you listening? The total distance is this. This is 1/4 of the distance. So we have to add that to here, and that will find us the number that is 1/4 of the way. Okay, so that ends up somewhere around here. That, my friends, is the number that is 1/4 of the way. Now, secret word. Remember, you can put it in your pace chart. Put it on your pace chart. I'm going to write it here. Write it on your pace chart. And the secret word is Mickey, 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 Mickey Mouse. And so wrapping it up, remember to put your name and section number on all communication with me if you would like to have your answer faster. Thank you and have a good night.